We're live.
Okay, all right.
This flat earth dude here, hanging out with Shorty. We're talking about his life story, man. We're gonna have a beer too, man. We're gonna take off, hang out for a few. There'll be some people showing up in the chat, but we're just mostly focused on what your life story,
Right.
and what you went through doing 25 years jail sentence, right?
Yes.
And I don't know what sentence you had, so it's going to be a mystery to me as anyone else. It's going to be a bit, because I have an idea what it might have been. Kenny never told me, Manny never told me. You never told me because I asked you not to.
Right.
Because I didn't want to know, because I knew I would come to this point where I might want to do an interview.
Is everything good? Am I good?
You're
Am I
good,
squared
man.
Off? Okay.
Easy.
All right.
Eyes to see. How's Joey look? How's everything looking? You looking good? All right.
Okay.
So we're at the park. We're hanging out. Got Shorty here. Gonna crack a beer. We're talking about stories, man, and we're gonna start with one. So, where'd you grow up, Shorty?
I grew up in Orange County here in Stanton, and
That's near Disneyland, right?
yeah, not far, like about 3.5 miles from Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And lived here since the 70s, and different time. Different
No doubt, a different time,
rules,
right?
Different everything. And
It was a different freedom back then,
there was
right?
a lot of freedom
We
back
we
then.
used to ride in the back of pickup trucks,
Yes.
and we would have no seat belts, no helmets,
No.
no knee pads,
No, nothing.
no. On our bicycles, we never had a single helmet,
No.
right?
Not even driving a car did you have to have a seatbelt on, because now they'll charge you like $200 if you do it.
Right. So
if
what
you
about? Did you have to take a bicycle test when you were a kid?
No, I never had to do that.
Where you
Thank
got like a
God.
little sticker on your bicycle that confirmed that you took a test. You remember
I
that?
had a sticker on my bike saying that it was my bike, but I don't think I ever took a test.
Oh, okay. I remember taking a test and having to like go down this obstacle course.
Oh,
and,
really?
And yeah,
Amazing.
go around. Yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
Not much.
Not much.
About 5 years
Yeah,
ish.
about that.
Yeah, so that it might make a little bit of a difference. But so you grew up with a lot more freedom in your daily activities, right?
Yes.
And there wasn't as many laws to inhibit you from, riding in the back of a pickup or having 12 people in the car. You remember those days?
Yeah.
We used to ride around and we'd get 12 people in a car. Just pile them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, right? 6 in the front, 6 in the back, or whatever, right? So yeah, we had a lot of freedom anyway. So anybody in the chat? Anybody hanging out?
Is anybody there?
There's says that 9 people are watching us.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody. Can you guys hear us okay? Is the audio okay?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear Shorty okay? What's up? What's up, Ben? Is everything okay? Can you guys hear us okay? Audio's good. Kat says it's good.
Good.
All right, thank you, Cats. He's a little quiet. Okay. I'll try to move. Yeah, we're outside. We're just using my speaker phone, so you might have to speak up a little.
Yeah. You might want to aim it more towards me, because
I got you dead
Oh, do
center.
you? Okay.
You're
All
pretty
right.
center. I got it towards you. Shorty could be a little louder, he said. All right, let's.
Okay. I'll be a little.
Let me
how's that?
let me pop in the headphones
Yeah,
for
that'll
him,
be better.
and then in that way they'll get all of you and,
Okay.
and very little of me. 'Cause
Okay.
you guys don't want much of me, right? All right. So growing up, just use the this one in your
Okay,
right ear.
I
Just
gotcha.
put that one in
That
your
we can
right
hear
ear
you.
because you're not going to hear anything. It's just to get the microphone
Right.
closer to
I
your
got you.
mouth, right? Can you guys hear him now better?
How about now?
New perspective. What's up, man? Dave, can you hear Shorty all right?
Can you hear me? 1, 2, check. 1,
Okay,
2.
he says sounds good.
Okay.
All right, I trust Dave.
Yeah.
He's the only flat earther that's ever been to my house.
Oh,
Anyway,
really? Okay.
Besides you.
Besides me.
All right, so growing up in Stanton, you were close to Disneyland. Did you go to Disneyland often, or
I have, yeah. When I was
yeah?
younger, yes.
Did you ever sneak into Disneyland?
No, I snuck into Knott's Berry Farm though.
Which way did you sneak into Knott's?
Right there on Western
Did you go under the
and La
fence or
Palma.
over?
No, over the fence.
You went over the fence.
Over the fence, yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. Going
Yeah,
over the
it's a
fence
tough
is
one.
tough.
Yeah.
I went under the fence.
Really?
Well, yeah, on Western.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Western.
there was that gate that you could lift it up just enough you could slide under.
Oh
but-
no, I went over. We went over.
Yeah.
A few of us. Yeah.
So yeah, that's always good to sneak into a place that But they didn't charge very much money to get in
No.
there back then, man. It was
No.
only like $10 Now
But
it's like,
it was a whole different time back then because you used to go into these places and people would be, our age would be drinking and partying, and
right.
it wasn't so much security as it is now. Now it's like, oh my God, if anything you do, you're going to be filmed.
Right, everything is filmed, everything's checked. They get security up the ass.
Yeah.
They search you when you go in. They send you through the metal detectors and
Yeah.
make you empty your pockets and all that. Right, that's what they do now. So, did you go to the beach a lot growing up? Or
All the time.
All the time.
All the
What
time.
beach? Huntington.
Huntington Beach, yeah.
Do you remember Huntington Beach? There was a club right there that Jimi Hendrix played at.
Really?
It was right on, just off of Main Street, right there, man. I forget the name of the place. You don't remember?
No, I don't. All I remember is that compared to what it is now, like I was telling you earlier, a lot of those houses, a lot of the property there that was alongside of Main Street on either direction. I think on going towards Beach Boulevard was more motels, but going
Right.
towards the right, going towards Golden West was more there were rentals, and there was surfers from all around the world that would stay there and surf. And I was telling you, they didn't have front doors, they didn't have back doors. They just had,
They didn't have
just
beds.
just a towel hanging over the door, and people were just living like that, and it was pretty
It was very
liberating.
open.
Yeah, it was open.
very- a lot of
we'd
freedom.
party. Yeah, we'd party in there, and people were like, "Come on in, man!" And it was just a good time compared to now.
Now it seems very segregated as far as the rich people live in a lot of those places.
Well, it's very high.
It's high end now.
high end
right?
now, big time.
Super high end, right?
About $1 million to own a home there. Yeah,
So,
over.
yeah, it's unaffordable for
Yeah,
surfers that want to just hang out and surf all day.
unless you're getting sponsored.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Back then, surfers didn't make any money.
No.
Now you actually can make money surfing,
Yes.
and very good money.
Yeah.
If you're a good surfer, So there's that. So a lot of things have changed. I remember. So you went to some different high schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get kicked out of high school? or
I got
you
kicked
just
out of high.
left?
No, I got kicked out.
For what? Why'd you get kicked out for?
Just truancy. Not doing what I was supposed to do.
You were hitting the beach, partying.
I just did whatever
Didn't
the fuck
wanna
I
go?
wanted to. I didn't give a fuck. You know what? To be honest with you, man, I went to school. They dropped me off or whatever. I walked there. Friends came to school and said, "Let's go to the beach. Let's go."
Right.
And a lot of other issues that came along with it. But
Right.
I ended up getting kicked out and going to like summer school. Getting kicked out of that. I went to a few till I went to continuation school, and then finally I graduated from high school. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you graduated at one of the continuation, they
Yes,
call it, right?
yes.
Yeah. And then after high school, you got a job.
I got a job. I was working during high school. That's when I was
Well,
working
what was
at.
your first job?
I worked for one of my father's uncles at a apartment complex. He was a supervisor, so he would paint and remodel apartments as people moved out. And from
Right.
there, I went to a restaurant that was part of the Ansdale, conglomerate. And then they had a piano shop there, and then that's where I got into the piano shop stuff. Was in high school.
That's where I met you.
Then you met me
Later.
years later.
I probably
yeah.
met you. I probably met you when you were there, but you were,
It would have had to be like in 1983.
I was gone.
Now you weren't there.
I was gone. I was
Yeah.
there in like 80,
Really?
79,
Okay.
78.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in there early with my brother.
Amazing.
He was a bit older. He would just hire me to do the kind of things that I hire you to do.
Okay.
Sand this,
All right.
screw that, glue that, that kind of thing. But I was only like, 14 years old.
Right.
And so he had me doing that kind of shit, which is cool. But yeah, I remember. You remember Alan Ensdale?
Yes, I do. I know him very well.
You know him well?
Very well. Very well.
He was a very hard-working guy, type A personality.
Yes.
Very prestigious, dressed well. Right?
Still is.
Still does.
Yeah.
He still lives well. Yeah.
Still talk to him.
Yeah, you still talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I remember him working for him, and he was always fair.
Yeah.
But he wanted you to get the work done too.
I remember, and this is going back, and this will give you guys a little bit of insight to what I was dealing with at the time that I had graduated from high school, and I was working there. And, I was partying a lot. I was doing all the wrong things. And I let it be known. I wasn't the kind of person I don't like to lie.
Right.
You say, hey, do you smoke weed? I say, yeah. You drink beer? Yeah. So what? You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my personality. I'm a good worker. I'm a nice guy. Either you're going to like me or you're not going to like me. So what's the point of lying? What's the point of perpetrating a fraud? And one day he came up to me, man, and he told me, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, yeah. He said, come on. Because I was working for him.
Right.
And he said, he was really religious, and this is what really freaked me out. He was like, I got to talk to you. And I'm like, about what? He's like, it's very, very important. And I said, okay, yeah. So he takes me and he sits me down. He says, God talked to me last night. And I'm like, oh, really? And then at that time, I was thinking, this guy, this is too much. This is too much for me. Yeah. You come on now.
A little cuckoo, right?
And he said, God came to me and said that you need to straighten out your life. You need to start going to Bible studies and you start changing your life around. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. And I was like, what? I'm like, okay. And that was the end of that. And, nothing ever happened. I was still doing my thing.
Right.
But lo and behold, probably like within 3 years is what everybody wants to know.
This is the reason we're doing the interviews.
Yes.
Is because it's going to go into a time of your life that there was a large chunk of your life. Freedom was taken away.
I need to have a drink, guys.
Yeah, take a drink. I'm going to drink with him. I'm going to have some. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody. We're at the park.
We have to hide this shit.
We're drinking out of bags. That's where
Stella, good beer.
Good beer.
Just out of bags.
Hold on, wait.
That's all.
I gotta show. We are drinking some Stellas. It's kind of a mild beer,
I kind of like it.
It tastes
it is
really
good. Yeah.
It's about 82 degrees out here, so it tastes really good. So anyway, so he gave you this warning. You need to straighten out your life.
Right.
And I wouldn't say you ignored him. Circumstances had put you in a position where you ended up doing 25 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
And that's a life sentence, is that right?
It was a 25 years to life sentence, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't gotten into what it was for yet, but
right.
That's the whole reason we're here. And I think we deserve to take a little more time to get to know you a little bit better before we get into the big details of how you ended up there, man.
Right.
But you must have met some people, started doing some things that led to this.
Of course.
So was it like? Do you remember what year it was when you first were introduced to these people, or what? Or?
Well, I would say that I was never introduced to them because when I was living there and I started doing.
Where were you living?
In where I live at, in Stanton. And
at the house you're in.
Yes.
Same house you're in now.
And I want to tell you that I grew up with these guys, and it was a different time.
Dude, I know it was a different time because I lived it.
So I worked for these people. The people that I ended up getting involved with were people that I grew up with. So,
right.
They're involved in, drug dealing. They're involved in gangs and whatnot. And
Do you remember the gang names? Or?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
They're local.
Locals, yeah. We went to the beach to
Was
get
a lot of Mexican gangs, or was it
mix. It was a mix. It was a
black
mix. Of,
guys? Mexican?
no, no black.
No
No
white
black.
guys?
Yeah, white guys.
White guys?
White guys, Mexican guys. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
They had white
Ital-
guys
yeah.
in a gang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
shit.
we were all locals. We'd all go to the beach together. You know, we grew up together. We went to elementary together. The final years, junior high school. You know.
So you were really tight with these
yeah,
guys.
I knew these guys. Yeah,
I
they're-
still know.
yeah.
I still know my elementary kid friends.
Yes.
I still hang out with them. So I get it, man.
But-
But those guys were into some stuff that
Well,
was illegal or whatever.
I want to emphasize on this conversation that nobody put me to do anything,
That's
and that
right.
I'm not a victim.
No, you're not a victim. here, man.
I did everything on my own.
That's right.
You know, I did everything on my own. I grew
Thanks
up.
for owning that.
Well, I have to because I don't want
gotta
I don't want people to see this and say, well, you know, I want to let you know that I come from, you know, I lived with my stepfather at that time. He was very, very mean. And you know, and this is the way I want to explain it to you guys, so you know. When you look at it like a puzzle, this is the best way that I understood it.
Right.
You know, broken pieces of a puzzle, they fit together. So when you're dealing with young men that have issues, whatever it is,
Right.
and we grew up together, we know each other, it pushes us closer together. So whatever issues we were having at home,
Right.
when we came together, we basically made it right, and we said, you know, fuck this, we're gonna do what we want to do.
Right.
So that was our mentality at that time. Nowadays, kids don't do that, thank God. But
some do.
well, some do, but not very many. But I want to.
Not like when we were kids, man.
No.
We did whatever we want. We came home, you know, late.
Yeah.
Snuck in. We snuck
Snuck
out.
into windows.
We stole cars,
Carried
borrowed
guns.
cars, guns,
Yeah.
drugs, and we did it all, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I did. I was not an honor student by any mean, man.
Yeah.
I was out there doing shit I should have been busted for. I should have done 25 or something.
and to be
For something.
and to be realistic with you,
Be a
yeah,
realist,
yeah.
man.
Is that, you know, after I got out of high school, you know, what we were talking about earlier, is that I did, because of my stepfather said, you know what, you're going to live in my house, you can do what I want, you're going to do this or that, or you're going to be out of here. So I joined the Marines. And I went in the Marines and I got in there.
And you were at 17?
I was at 17 when I went in, yeah, after high school, right after high school.
So you went down to the recruiter's office?
Yes,
Or-
I did.
Now they came to the school. They used to come to the school.
I went
try
down
to
there-
recruit you.
I went down there myself, and my stepfather said, yeah, let me sign the paper since you're still a minor. And there I went.
So did they send you boot camp?
Yeah, sent me to boot
Pendleton?
camp.
Pendleton?
Camp Pendleton, yeah.
Yeah.
MCRD.
So
San
back
Diego.
then, man, the sergeant in charge of your
Drill
boot camp,
instructor.
drilling. Well, he drilled into your head. What?
He didn't drill nothing into my head. if anything,
You had to drill something
no,
into
not
your
really.
head.
No, if anything, you know, I mean, following orders and regulations was the only thing that you
Right.
have to do, that everybody did.
Right.
But as far as the guys that were there at that time, especially after Vietnam,
Yeah.
we were just party animals, man. We were
Really?
drinking hard, going out on the
You
weekends.
guys go to Oceanside? on the weekend?
Oceanside, we go to San Onofre,
San Onofre?
we go to Dana Point.
Dana Point?
Yeah.
That's a Richie area,
we would go back to where we live at here in Orange County, which is like a couple hour drive. Most of the time we come home, you
Right.
know, on the weekends.
Right.
And we'd party here, but it didn't really help. Would I say that when you're in an, how would I say, a culture, a subculture of violence and aggressiveness,
Right. And you
to
join the
guys
military.
guys like us,
The
it just
testosterone,
it just mess-
poisoning everywhere.
well, I mean, you're still doing what you're supposed to do, but who you are is not going to change, because if you were already like that, this is like, fuck, I got the green light to do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
So why not? You know.
Right.
You know, and the cops would leave you alone more, which was nice, and that was where it went. What happened was when I got out, because I had a medical issue, and they discharged me earlier, honorably, and I got out. I fell back in with these guys that I was growing up with, and a lot of them were involved in this gang, and they were
So-
involved with drug trafficking.
My thinking is, okay, you went from this, which is a school is an indoctrination gang of some sort.
Some
right?
sort, yeah.
And then, growing up, your neighborhood friends are a kind of a gang of some sort.
Right.
And then you join the military, which is a total gang.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then now you went back to your bros in the neighborhood.
There it is.
Right?
Right.
Another gang. So I could see that happening.
And the thing is that I was working. I did have a job when I got
Right.
out. I worked for the city of Buena Park. I even worked in the police department for a little bit, doing repairs around there, and they wanted to send me to the academy. They took liking.
They wanted you to become a cop,
Oh yeah.
huh?
I said hell no. I said no. I said hell. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. But because of the way I am and the way I'm talking to you now, nobody would ever suspected that I was doing anything wrong, because when I'm doing something, I'm focused in whatever work I'm doing.
Right.
So, it kind of like everything was going actually good, and then I got laid off from the city, and then that's where it went bad.
What year was that?
Oh, that was in 1980. I think it was like in June
89?
1989.
So there was a downturn in the economy about that time.
Yeah.
Big time, 89, 90,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that's where I ran into another friend.
That was the time of the savings and loan scandal.
Okay.
It really took out a lot
Yeah,
of people.
I knew nothing about that stuff.
Right, yeah. But that's why a lot of the cities weren't bringing in as much money.
Right.
Because, it's what they call a recession.
Right.
And it lasted, I don't know, 2-3 years. Maybe 5 years, somewhere around there. And yeah, I remember that quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see where the cities and stuff, everybody was laying off, at that time. But so you're back there. You had a job. You got laid off.
Right.
So you're looking for some other opportunities,
Yeah, and I found it.
and you found it.
You want to hear that one? It's a
we're-
good one. This
we're-
is getting good now.
Yeah, we're getting warmed up.
Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry to get to that, the climax of what you were actually busted
Okay.
for, but
Either way.
I just kind of want to get the whole story of how it built up.
Yeah.
And you were obviously tight with these people, because it takes more than one person to get a 25. Well, unless you shoot somebody, and that happens. You can
Yeah,
get
it
25
happens.
years for that, right?
You get more.
You can get more, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of sentences,
Mm-hmm.
see, you know a little bit more about it than I do, obviously. They say 25 years to life, and that's with good behavior, or is that just like they get to decide?
They decide.
They decide.
You don't decide.
So, doing your, was there a point like 10 years in you were like, oh shit, I can get out? Maybe they'll let me out?
No.
Never.
No. It took time.
But don't they review you and then put you in front of what they call a parole board?
They do that, and I would like to explain to people, especially for people that are listening right now that are probably saying, "What
There's
the hell?"
19 people.
Okay, well, what the hell is going on?
Right.
Because that's what I would ask. I want to make it crystal clear as to what and where, from the very beginning of this interview, where we're going.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you a little insight.
Now there's 21 people.
Okay. This is what I learned.
Right.
I didn't know. When you're going in front of the parole board, you're going in front of 3 California commissioners that are hired by the state, and they're usually ex-cops, ex-DAs.
Right.
They're government workers, and they're sitting there and they're going to decide whether you should get out or you shouldn't
How
get
many
out.
of these meetings did you have?
I had
in 25 years?
2006, 2008, 2010 was my wake-up call.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll get into that.
Okay.
Okay, so what I learned, because you go to psych evaluations also for this, because people, it's logical that when you do something, you are not going to just do something like, say, this is what I was saying. Oh, it just happened. I was there that night, this happened, it just happened.
Right.
They don't believe that shit. They're like, you know what, come on, man. Motherfucking normal people do not go out there and fucking do this
Right.
and say it just happened. There has to be a starting point, and until you can tell us where it started at, then you have a chance of getting out.
Right.
So this is what I'm going to explain to you right now. At 10 years old, all psychiatrists believe that a young man or young woman basically are getting to that point where they're set in their ways, which was true. My mother and father got divorced when I was 8. I was stealing by...
Let's talk about that divorce a little bit.
Oh, man.
So your mom and dad met?
I was, they met, they were married. I'll just go until I was 8. Bad blood happened between them, whatever the hell happened. They ended up getting a divorce, and he sold the house.
You at 8, man, I know my parents split it like when I was like 10, 11.
Maybe a little bit older.
Fucked me up, man.
Yeah, well.
Fucked me up mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a huge toll on your stability.
Right.
It did on me. I mean, I'm not saying it did on you, but it's a disruption of your, your center, your energy, your everything, man. Right?
And we don't want to make this sound like a psych session, but yeah, but I'll tell you one. But
from a psych session.
No,
right?
but I will tell you one thing. What they believe, I'm gonna tell you what they believe.
Okay.
They believe at age 10 or 11, you're basically set in your ways. Children are basically fitting into who they are going to be as an adult.
Right.
So I always told them I came from a good childhood upbringing, which I did. I didn't have a bad one. I did all these things on my own.
Right.
But when I was able to explain to them what happened in my life and where I started to actually think it was okay to steal candy out of a store and ditch school, and I was young,
right.
And that's when it started. And then my mother remarried, and I had a stepfather who was very abusive, very psychologically. Man, he was an asshole.
What was his name?
I won't say his name, but
we give him a name. Can we give him a name?
We can call
asshole?
him John.
Can we call him asshole?
Whatever, John Asshole.
John Asshole.
And
Stepdads suck, right?
Well,
your stepdad sucked. My best man. Dwight,
this is good.
Right?
Yeah.
His fucking stepdad was a total dick. But you know what his name was?
What?
They called him the Suck.
but you want to know something? Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
At that time, we are not who we are now. And my stepfather was a Vietnam vet, did 2 tours in Vietnam. He had a lot of issues. Oh my God. So he would scream at night when he'd wake up, sweat. So he had a lot of issues. Now that I'm older, I can say, you know what, poor guy. But when I was a kid, I was like, this motherfucker's an asshole. What the fuck's up with this guy?
Right.
Motherfucker, goddamn, back up off me. But you can't.
Back the fuck up.
You can't do that when you're 10, 11 years old.
No, you don't have the strength.
So you don't know what to do. So that's when you go out in school and you start rebelling, you start hanging around with kids. That's where my friends were broken home, came from broken families.
Do you think the government encourages, you think that the system we're in encourages broken families?
Now?
Do you think
now or before?
Now, right now.
Not really.
You don't think they would love to see broken families?
No, it's hard for me. See, I don't like to judge me. It's hard for me to say that they do. Back then, yeah. Because
it was like it's set up to fucking fail, almost in a lot of ways. I mean, they push adultery, they push, alcoholism, they push drug abuse, they push these different things, man. All those things are bad for a relationship between a man and woman.
I believe that now in this country, and probably in a lot of Western countries, that they give a lot of power to a woman that is married against her husband if you get a divorce, unless you have a prenuptial agreement.
Right.
Because they know that if they have your children, or if they've lived with you for a substantial amount of time, you have to pay alimony and child support. There's no way around it.
Right.
So in that sense, you might have a lot of men that don't want to break up families because they know it's going to cost them more money.
Right.
But before, when I was growing up, they had welfare and whatnot, and men could just say, I want a divorce, and they were cut loose, and broken families happen, and the woman would either have to work 2 jobs like my mom did or go on welfare.
So your mom worked 2 jobs?
Hell yeah, my mom worked her fucking ass off, man.
Oh, fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Give me some love there.
Fuck.
You gotta love a mother that does that, man.
Yeah. Still like that.
My sister-in-law had to do that, man.
Yeah.
Just bust her ass to just feed her, fucking clothe her kids, man.
Yeah.
And you know, keep some house over their head.
Right.
And it was brutal, dude.
It is brutal.
It's fucking brutal. But you're a wonderful mother, man. Kept her house.
Yeah, she did.
I mean,
Yeah.
which is, you know, I want to hats off to that.
My mother waited for me for 25 years when I got arrested, took care of me when I was in there, made sure that I had everything I had. And she's very, very controlling and very, very narcissistic right now. But, you know, I have to understand that because, you know, I want to let everybody know that I don't blame anybody.
Right.
And
I love that, man. That's just why I'm doing this interview. Because since the day I met you, and when you and I started connecting, I felt that you've owned what you've done more than any person I've ever met.
There's no excuse.
And there's no excuse, and there's no bullshit, and that's why I'm interviewing you, man. It's because it brings a tear to my eye, man. To think that what you did 25 fucking years, and the way you've come out so strong, so, you know, willing.
I got a lot of issues with being out here. You guys are very, very emotional, and you know what? I didn't grow up like that, and I grew up very physical.
You're talking about the,
you're
talking about the American psyche. The American psyche is very emotional, right?
Yeah.
And
no boundaries.
You
guys don't fucking have boundaries,
President
man.
Bush, did you see he wiped his ass today? And oh my God. You know, yeah.
When I say I don't want to talk to you, man, it means I don't want to talk to you. There's a boundary there. Hello? Don't cross it.
I need a fence.
They don't listen.
No. But, yeah, I mean.
Don't fucking listen.
There's, you know, emotionally, people, the system feeds on emotion. They want you to feel emotional about
and it's okay.
a presidential election, about a sports team, about your beer.
Fuck all that.
They want you to feel emotional about your beer.
That.
For God's sake.
Fuck all that. Be emotional for your family, for somebody that's close to you.
Be emotional for what?
For what's right.
For what's right.
Right.
The truth, man.
Don't be emotional for fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, take that shit, stick it up your ass. I'm behind. Yeah.
That's why I love you, bro.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Emotional.
So, asshole dickhead, your father-in-law. Stepfather. My bad. So did he beat you?
Oh, we got into it, yeah.
Yeah. What did he beat you with?
He beat me with his fucking hands. He's a Vietnam vet. He fucking choked my ass out. And I told him when I turn 18, I'm gonna fuck you up, motherfucker. And he say, "Oh, is that right?" Yeah. And you know, and
really,
but he was a good man, though. I'm gonna tell you something about this man. And like I say, I'm older. I can give props where they're due.
You're centered.
I'm centered. Is that what?
Centered, man.
And the man never stopped putting a roof over our head. Never stopped feeding us. Never stopped doing what he was supposed to do as a father. Even though I was very rebellious.
Right.
Even after I got in trouble and I was gone, and my mother was in the house, he still continued to pay for the bills, even though they were separated, and he did not live there. Yeah.
Wow.
So gave her the chance to buy the house off him.
What did he do for a living?
He was a truck driver.
Truck driver. So he made pretty good money.
He worked at LAX at the airport. He was a mechanic for Butler Aviation.
Yeah.
And then he said, you know what, I want to be a truck driver. I want to be my own boss.
So he bought a rig?
He bought a rig, man. Got a rig, got a mortgage.
Shit, huh?
He started making money, man. He used to show me his checks at that time. He said, you want to make money? Check this motherfucker out. $1,000 a week.
Oh, damn.
And that was back in fucking like 82.
82?
He's making money, man.
Yeah, that's serious money back then.
Serious money back then.
Because you could rent a place for like $200 a month back then.
Yeah, well, he's showing me, he tried to, I'm not going to say he tried. It takes everybody listens to things.
Right.
I got a good saying. It's saying when you tell somebody something, you plant a seed. You plant that seed, it takes time.
Sorry, we're back. Sorry. What was the saying again? All right. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. I am on my phone. Yeah, it was a dropout. You guys are cool in the chat. You guys back? Are we back? Guys, let me know. We're 34 minutes in. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Sorry we dropped the stream. Are we back? We're back. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Okay.
Oh,
Let me get
shit. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All right, so...
I'm into questions, man. Ask these. Do they have comments?
Hey, you guys got Zoom, man. You got any questions? All good?
Yeah.
You guys want to ask Shorty anything? Let me know. Ask them, tell them. They probably can't.
Anything
guys
that
wanna
you'd like to
ask
know, a
questions?
question, anything.
You guys want to comment? I'll try to read the chat here, and we'll get it going. We're down to 15 people. We were up to 25.
Well, it's because of that
Live.
phone call.
But we lost the phone
We'll
call.
we'll get it.
It did interrupt a few things. We'll get it going again. So, a little beer will help.
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right, we're back up. Everybody's come back. All right. So, anyway, tell us a little more about your stepfather.
Well,
Good, hard-working man.
good, hardworking man.
Was he a drinker?
No, he wasn't a drinker. He
He
didn't
didn't
use
drink?
no drugs.
No
nothing.
drugs?
No, he just is
So
crazy.
Did he ever? Did he ever mention anything that happened in Vietnam?
Sure have. Yes, he did.
Is this a flat Earth testimony story? Kind of. Can he switch your phone? What? Hold on. Let me click it. I said, has Kenny talked to you about flat Earth yet?
Yes. Yes, he has. Yeah, and I've investigated it.
Yeah, he's.
And I've gone into that. Yes.
Yeah, he's about a what, 80%er right now.
Well, I take all information and what I've seen as far as the flat earth is really stuck into my mind because I've investigated the Antarctica and I've wanted to know why is there such a secrecy over that continent.
Everybody's getting here.
You know what I mean? And I researched it myself with Admiral
I was
Byrd.
the first one that told you about
Yeah.
Admiral Byrd and
Right.
the
I got
the
a phone call.
treaty.
Let me excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you there? Look at. Hello? Boo. Listen to me.
Tell her you call her back. man.
Yeah. I gotta
Oh,
call.
shit.
I'm gonna call you back. Okay. I'm gonna call you back. Okay. Look.
All right, his girlfriend called him. His fiance.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my bad. So
We're
just
getting
gonna
interviewed right
shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome.
Okay. Here we go.
New perspective. Carl, eyes to see. All right, you guys are awesome. All right, we're back. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Have you read about Captain Shackleton?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, this
Who's
guy.
that?
Shackleton was an early Antarctic explorer
Mm-hmm.
that his boat got crushed
Oh, really?
by the ice, got frozen in,
Okay.
and he had to hump it out of there a few hundred miles.
Okay.
Had to carry a boat a couple hundred miles.
Right.
And then he got the boat to the shore and had to row it 600 miles. Well, it was all freezing to shit. And he saved his entire crew. It took him a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fucking. You gotta look it up.
Shackleton.
Shackleton.
Okay.
Dude. Oh yeah, amazing story, man.
Captain
Anyway.
Shackleton.
Oh, dude. Yeah, great story. I was always enthused by that
What-
story.
What?
When days were bad for me, I was like working on pianos. I'm like, at least I'm not rowing 600 miles in a fucking boat today.
Yeah.
While it's freezing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm gonna look at that one. What got me intrigued about the flat Earth was Admiral Byrd.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Because he came out, right?
Did you watch that TV show?
No, I just listened to
You
what
haven't
you
seen-
said, and I checked online who Admiral Byrd was and what his expedition was,
Oh, is that
and how he died. You
Right.
know, and
After-
that's just kind of like, how can you just come back from Antarctica and a year later you're dead? Come on.
Well, he came back
Ah.
and telling the stories of
Seeing civilization,
continents,
yeah.
continents,
Yeah.
not just like land, but
Yeah,
continents.
yeah. I'm not.
So yeah.
So that intrigued me, and then I asked myself, well, there's been the lunar landing,
on the moon. Yeah.
yeah, and
50 years ago.
the shadows and all that.
I did
That
show
was
you the
another thing that
shadows.
popped up, and I was like, well, why are there shadows going in different directions? It's not supposed to be like that.
Can't be
I mean,
like, it
what's
can't
going
be.
on? So and then it was I could tell you guys, and then it was the fact that Antarctica, basically after the treaty, that was something else, and I read up on the treaty. The treaty, they said, was started because they wanted to protect Antarctica of its natural resources and natural wildlife.
Right.
But you know what the fuck, man? Why aren't you doing that all over the world?
Right.
Why are you stopping people from going there? And then I checked out where can I go in Antarctica if I want to go. It's like fucking like a very low percentage that you can actually
Little
visit.
island.
Yeah.
Like over here.
Yeah, you can go there.
Yeah.
And most people that go there, actually, that have a green light to go there, they say are scientists, and they're
Right.
like really fucking government workers. So, I mean, they're not going to say nothing.
Nah.
So I was like, there's something going on down there.
But even if they get to go there, man, they just get to go to one spot.
Well, I don't want to go to one spot.
They don't get to cross the whole
Nah,
thing.
I want to cross the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, well,
I want
we
to see
all
what the
do. We
fuck
all
is
do.
there.
We all
You know what I
do.
mean? If you could say fucking go for it, and you have millionaires all over the world fucking pushing this mission, and we're online live, how the fuck can they stop us? You can say we crashed or what? I mean,
Yeah.
come on. That's probably what they would try to say.
Well, there's been a few people try to go down there on their own and
They get
failed.
turned away.
They got either killed or something.
No, you can't go down there. Did you know that when Reagan was in a president, that he's the one who said that can't nobody go into Antarctica because there was a safety issue with any plane has to be within so many miles
Of
of
an
an airport to be safe.
Right.
So you're not going to Antarctica because there's
You're
no
not
airport
going,
there.
man.
So I was like, why would they come up with all these things to, the general population is not going to ask questions. I will.
Right.
You will.
Right.
And
we will for sure.
So
we're gonna ask some questions, man. We got a lot of them, man. We are not getting any answers.
Yeah.
You listened to the astrophysicist interview the other day.
yeah. Yes, I did.
Part of it.
Yes.
With Wakey
Yes.
and the professor from what was it in Germany.
Yes.
And what did you think of her answers?
I thought she was flaking out.
Yeah.
I thought that she was fucking good at speaking her mouth, but fucking when it came down to the question, she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. She was acting real fucking nervous.
Right?
And
And that's what I'm talking
and for
about.
somebody that's so well educated and so well informed on what the hell she's talking about, how the fuck can you answer a goddamn question, or at least convince me
Right.
of your view?
Right.
She couldn't do that.
She was all.
Yeah, I don't
have to look it
I don't
up.
believe.
Right.
No, I.
There's got to be an answer.
Well, there was a certain point where I was like, she's full of shit, and I just cut it off.
Yeah.
I was like,
was
fuck
pretty
that.
fast.
I'm not listening to it.
Anyway, so yeah, your father-in-law.
Did you drink that already?
Yeah.
God damn, man.
I know. I just drank
And you
mine.
were holding out at the fucking hamburger spot, making me drink his beer. Come on, man, get right.
We went and had hamburgers and all right, let me check the chat.
Yeah.
Tide will turn.
Yeah,
Truth prevail says.
yeah. The tide will
So
turn.
Truth, I agree with you. Carl Steinbeck. Yeah, you got to sign a non-disclosure agreement to go to Antarctica. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of bull. I looked at that too. You got to take everything out. Any kind
Right,
of
any extra fuel,
If you take a shit, a pit, whatever the fuck you do there, it's got to come out with you. That's come on, man. And an insurance policy. You got to
Yeah.
have thousands of dollar insurance policy.
Thousands.
Yeah. So come on, man. The average person is not going to be able to go there.
Right.
Be real.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. We got like 15 minutes.
Okay.
I just do an hour at a time.
Okay.
We'll get to your.
Yeah.
We'll get to your conviction.
Yeah.
For what it was.
But
Then we'll get into some things that happened, inside,
yeah.
and we'll get into some different stuff, but it's gonna take a while. I don't want to rush this interview.
No need to rush it.
And I enjoy hanging out with you more than anybody right now.
We have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Things seem to go our way.
Yeah,
We work well together,
they do.
Right?
Yeah,
You know,
especially today.
You know, today was good. You know, we everything we do, you're gonna run into a bump or two, man. We ran into some bumps with the back seat, but we figured it out, right?
Yeah.
You know, so backseat bumping.
Yeah, box bumping. We got this little wooden box today.
Oh, the box bump
Man,
today, right?
it was like a secret compartment.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
get it right now.
Go get it.
And then you
I'll
can show
continue
these
talking.
guys.
Okay.
Go tell some
You want me to show them on?
Tell some
Okay.
story.
Okay.
We got a lot of battery left.
Tell what you got.
We'll go like 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Let me grab a smoke.
All right.
I'll grab the box. And tell the story, man.
Okay.
About, I don't know, smoking weed. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know, this is about me coming out here after 25 years of being incarcerated at the age of 24, actually 23, and seeing how things are. Things really haven't changed much. Ideologies have changed. People have changed. Flat Earth, you know, that opened my eyes a lot. Extraterrestrials, all that's, well, like he says, extraterrestrial means extra people on land, and I kind of believe that. I've looked at a lot of information. I'm very curious. I want to know everything, and I do not believe that our governments are telling us the truth. I do believe that criminals are involved in the government. I do believe that they put us against each other for their own gains, and act like they're really hating each other when they're not. I believe that. I believe that. And basically, I just wanted to share my story with you guys because I've been Ken's friend for numerous years. And I was kind of like off about even sharing anything with anybody. But if you're interested, I would like to tell my story, you know?
You need to tell your story,
Well,
bro.
you know, it's up to them, you know, it's up to the viewer, you know, it's up to all our friends out there. You know, people could say, oh, you're full of shit or whatever. But if you want to hear it, I don't have no problem. That's why I asked you guys to ask questions and to leave comments, because I want to answer your questions. You know, I want you to be part of this. I do not want to just be like the other.
No.
You know what I mean?
I want it to be an inclusive thing.
You know, I watch other channels and stuff, and some guys are like, they're talking and they're not listening, and I want to listen.
Yeah,
I want to.
We're gonna listen, man. And it's gonna be a long process. We'll get there. But, all right, the box.
This is the box.
The box. It's a stash.
Can you
box.
see it? Is it clearly on the screen?
It is.
Okay, this is
Clear.
the box that we got. Am I divulged to say the price?
You can say the price.
Okay, it's $3 for the box we got. We were looking at the swap meet, and we were like, what the hell is that, man? It's a fucking box. So we're going, okay, how do you open it? Well, we go like this, and it's got a groove in there. Can you see the groove?
Yeah, I can see the groove.
Okay, and we're like, okay, it's gonna go forward, you know? Not fucking going forward. So we're like, okay, well, let's move it a little bit over. Not fucking doing it. And go like this. Okay, it's not doing it. Okay.
It wouldn't open, man.
Okay, so how the fuck are we gonna open this fucker? There's got to be
We played around with what, like 10 minutes
longer than that.
with that guy.
Well, longer than that, you know, till we actually.
Then we got to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then we played with it some more.
Yeah. And this guy says he's good with puzzles, so he starts doing this. He starts flipping it around, you know.
Right.
He starts doing this, and I'm like, okay, I'm watching him. He's doing like this, and then he goes like this, and he opens it, you know. He opens it up, and he goes like this, and voila.
Out comes the cigarette.
Out comes the fucking cigarette. And we're hearing a noise in there. He thinks there's an extra compartment in there, but there's not. That's that's the mechanism.
Right.
But the thing is that then you can close it. You can close the fucking thing, line it up where the groove's at.
Right.
Okay. This will remind you in case you forget. Then you start closing. Then you line it up. Then you start closing it, little by little, and bam, it's shut. Okay, it's shut. It's locked. So I thought maybe, why do you have to hold it upside down? Why can't you just do the fucking thing or whatever? Either
Right.
way, and move this like this. Open it up. And then slide it open. It won't fucking slide open, man. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? You know? So I'm like, this is bullshit. So I said, okay, well, let's try this again, what he showed me. So I turned it upside down. It's got a fuck, I don't know what the fuck that mechanism is.
We don't know.
And no, but whatever it is, it's going to stop motherfuckers. I mean, you can cut it open, but I mean, for the average person that just wants to get into it, it's not. And then, voila.
Bam.
And there it is.
A cigarette.
So you got to do it upside down.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
for $3,
so the reason
pretty fucking good.
Joey and I get along well, man, is
Pretty
when
good.
we're together, man, things just seem to work out.
Yeah.
But we found a guy at the table next to us
Yeah.
that fucking knew how to open the box, man.
Yeah. Well, he was said he was good at puzzles, and he said he would figure it
He was
out.
fucking real
Started
good.
shaking it around. I'm like, this dude's fucking nuts. And sure enough, it fucking worked.
So your stepfather was an asshole, but
Yeah.
he also was a good man because
Yeah.
he did take care of you and your family,
Yes.
even though you guys fought.
Yes.
He treated your mother like shit, or
No, he treated my mom good.
pretty good.
Yeah. Treated me like shit.
Treated you.
Because I
like
wasn't
shit.
his child, of course.
Now you got brothers and sisters.
I
Right?
got a sister. He didn't treat her as bad. I was the man.
He treated
I was the
your
boy.
sister like shit. Too,
Not
right?
really.
No.
No, just me because I'm a male.
Right.
You know, he wants me to be how he wants me to be. It wasn't going to happen.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
And so he left you guys. Did he leave you high and dry, or just
No.
like up and left?
Kept
or?
on paying fucking bills in the house, everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Oh,
Yeah, he just moved out. That's it.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. I told my mom to go, if we could go see him, but she was like, let that shit, leave it alone. Don't stir up old shit.
Yeah.
Don't stir shit up. You know,
Don't
leave him
stir the
alone.
shit,
you
man.
know. I said, I just wanted to see him maybe and let
All
him
right,
know
we
that.
got like 10 more minutes, man.
Okay.
You guys got any questions? Ask them if you
Yeah.
got any questions.
You got any questions?
We got Anna.
Mm-hmm.
We got Zoom Truth, which is his name's David. We got Carl. You guys got any questions?
Yeah. Any questions?
As we're getting along here. Earth is flat. I agree on my. Still Earth Journey says hello.
Hello.
Hello, Still Earth Journey.
Yeah. Hello, Still Earth Journey.
Hello, Zoom Truth.
Hello, Zoom Truth.
David.
David.
Truth Prevails. Hi.
Truth Prevails. Hi.
Carl Steinbeck.
Carl Steinbeck.
Steinbeck. New Perspective. Dave.
Okay.
New Perspective Dave.
Okay. New Perspective Dave.
What's up?
Hello.
Yeah, he's my bro, man.
Yeah?
That's my bro, man. He's my bro. All right. Okay. Any questions? All right. Nobody saying anything.
Okay.
All right. So. There's a Flat Earth conference coming up now. Next week? Is that it? Next week?
Really? Where at?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh wow.
I'm not going. I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a lead here into a conversation here, man. We're going. Your mom's was good growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She worked. What kind of jobs did she do?
Restaurant waitress at Los Angeles International Airport, cleaning airplanes.
Cleaning
yeah.
airplanes.
Oh yeah. Man, I heard stories from her on that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you know how much drugs and stuff would come on those planes?
Yeah.
She'd find it. She's like, "What's this?" They're like, "Leave it alone."
Especially
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah,
right?
back in the day, in the '70s. Yeah, man. There's all kinds of stuff coming up in there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She didn't know nothing about it. Now she does.
Yeah. Your mom never smoked pot or
No.
drank.
She drank.
She drank?
Yeah.
What did she drink? Like vodka,
Whatever.
beer? No.
On the weekends.
On the weekends?
Yeah.
Does your mom still drink?
No.
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 She stopped drinking?
Stop drinking.
That's good. Your mom never smoked?
No.
And then your dad smoked?
No.
No, nobody smoked.
Didn't even drink. My stepdad or my dad.
Neither one drank.
No.
He was still an asshole.
Still a fucking asshole. Maybe they needed the fucking drink.
You
You know? Maybe it would have made him a little bit
a
better.
joint might have helped.
It would have helped a lot.
It might have helped.
Yeah.
Walter Williams. Say hi to Walter Williams.
Hello, Walter Williams. How you doing?
And take it easy on NASA, Walter.
Take it easy on NASA, Walter. Why? What's going on? Is he hard on NASA?
All right, Walter's got a whole story. I
Yeah.
want to interview him. Too.
Yeah.
He had the fucking FBI came to his house.
Really?
Yeah, he was locked into.
Holy
it.
shit.
Yeah, he had a standoff with him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good
Over
one.
NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter, man. Oh man, killing it. All right. Oh,
I love
fuck.
that. I love that. That's a good one
Yeah,
there.
Walter's shit,
Fuck.
man. You'd like Walter.
Yeah, I would.
I've hung out-
Yeah, I like that.
I've hung out with him a couple
Fuck
times.
yeah. And it's
He-
all good now.
He has a challenge.
Uh-huh.
There's this thing called the Coriolis effect,
Right.
right? And supposedly sniper guys use the Coriolis effect.
Really?
That if I'm shooting north-south,
Right.
that the Earth is spinning
Right.
1,800 miles an hour where we're at
Right.
to this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's going that way, right? So if I'm aiming the gun at somebody a mile down the road, if I got a 50 caliber, right? 1 mile down the road,
Right.
I have to aim certain. I have to aim.
Yeah. I know that
west
effect.
of the Coriolis effect.
Well, they call it what the Coriolis effect. I never heard that saying, but I know that they go by the wind, and maybe that's
the wind. Yeah,
somewhat
that's different.
somewhat of the.
That's different.
Is it
than
different?
The Coriolis
Okay.
effect. Yeah, that's different. And Walter Williams is willing to put $10,000. He's going to shoot you from a half a mile with a 50 caliber, and he's going to aim exactly at your head
Right.
from 50, from half a mile. And if you believe in the Coriolis effect,
You're dead.
you if he misses, you get to collect the 10,000.
Right.
If he hits you,
You're dead.
you're dead. But that's his fucking challenge. I'm not shitting you, man. The guy's put it out there 100 times. He started out with $5,000. He goes, fuck it, I'll bump it up to 10. Because he knows that if he aims his fucking 50 cal at whatever he's aiming at, it's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
There's no turning of the earth or nothing, man. So anyway,
I believe that too.
So that's
I believe that too.
that's
I believe that if there's no wind and everything is dead still,
right.
that you don't got to make up for a straight shot.
Yeah, you're gonna hit it.
You're
straight.
gonna fucking hit it.
Yeah. there's
Come
no-
on,
there's
man.
no
That's
cor-
common sense.
That's common sense.
Fuck. Kidding me?
Anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and cut this off here
Okay.
pretty soon. It was a good first, interview, right?
Yeah, it was good.
It wasn't bad. You guys are great. 17 of you left in the watching. You guys are awesome. I'll just check the chat. Yeah, he had the FBI and the SWAT team there. Poor Walter. Yeah, sometimes you got to hold the little mic closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Sometimes,
All right.
especially when it's windy,
Right.
then they can get you real good.
Okay.
All right, let's say goodbye to Walter.
Goodbye, Walter.
New perspective.
New perspective.
Still Earth Journey.
Still Earth Journey.
Anna.
Anna. Bye-bye, Anna.
Truth prevails.
Truth prevails.
Zoom truth.
Zoom truth.
That guy kicks ass.
Yeah.
Man. He's an ass kicking balls. Kicking balls. You guys are awesome. Say thank you. We'll continue this interview down the road. Tell them that. we'll continue this.
We will continue this interview down the road. I don't know if they can hear you, if I'm just repeating what you
Yeah,
know.
you just repeat what I tell you.
Okay.
'Cause they can't hear me. Well,
Oh, really?
They can kind of hear me.
Oh, but not much?
I'm pretty faded, right? GMCDXX.
GMCDXS.
Grandmaster 420.
That's right.
He lives in Buena Park.
Really?
Yeah, you can meet him.
Well, we need to smoke some weed, that's for sure. Yeah, 420. What's up?
He grows the weed.
Really? Then let's go get some. Smoke a joint.
He's that shit I got that stuff that fucking you like.
Oh, really?
I gave you.
Okay.
Yeah, he grew that.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Anyway. Uber. Say hi to Uber.
Hello, Uber.
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah,
All
not
right.
too close.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right in there. And then who else is out there? Anna said, "Have a great day."
You too.
Josh said, "You can hear me fine."
Mm-hmm.
Walter said, "I will hold the target first, then adjust the target, then you hold the original target."
I'm not holding nothing. I'm not holding nothing, Walter.
and then he'll at a half mile, 3 second target.
Yeah.
3 second target. How many feet the target apart?
I'm gonna tell Walter, you're gonna have to come get me, Walter. You ain't gonna be standing still. Sorry.
50 cal.
Yeah, forget all that.
Cal,
Yeah, forget all
That's a
that.
big-ass
Yeah,
gun.
as soon as he starts shooting that thing, boy, I'm gonna be moving.
Holy shit.
This is a drone.
It's a drone just
Yeah.
landed near us.
It's like a little homemade
It's like
drone.
a paper drone.
Yeah,
What the hell is that?
it looks like an experiment.
Oh, the kids have it.
You know.
Kids have the drone. All right, say cheers, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see. Close it out. We'll finish this.
You guys have a good night. It's evening right here in California, and thank you. I don't know, how this went. It's the first interview I've ever done.
Everybody, give me a thumbs
Probably the
up,
last.
thumbs down, something. Give me
Yeah.
something. I hope it went okay. Joey's got some fucking stories, motherfuckers. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to tune in next time, and we'll catch the other side of it. All right, brothers and sisters.
Good night.
You guys, good night. And